Hello, you've caught me playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and failing miserably to solve a Queen's Blood puzzle challenge. And I consider myself something of a Queen's Blood pro. I've climbed the ranks and thrashed all manner of man and machine, yet here I am, reduced to a puddle under the boiling Costa del Sol sun and the unblinking scrutiny of the Card Carnival staff. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth isn't even meant to be a puzzle game. Why sneak in a challenge designed to make me feel like a potato? It unearthed some old memories and got me thinking about all those other times video games have run circles around my brain. Here then are 7 video game puzzles only a genius can solve. Puzzle number 1, the Ginos Lock in Dishonored 2.
But what do you think? Can you crack it?
I've long considered myself a master of unlocking. Give me a metal prong and a bit of controller vibration and there isn't a keyhole I can't jimmy. In games, of course, it's not a transferable life skill.
Well, yeah, there's your problem, mate. You've got 5 hairpins stuffed in there.
So imagine my Grand Canyon of a frown when I met the Ginos Lock, blocking entry to Aramis Stilton's manor in the Dust District. It's an over-elaborate bit of home security, but what do you expect from Ginos, the mind that invented the Clockwork Mansion, the same mind I stuck a sword through in the Clockwork Mansion, which makes password recovery a bit of an issue. Can we turn him on and off again? Fortunately, Ginos left a password reminder. Unfortunately, it's even trickier than the one on Rosie's PC. The Ginos riddle is a logic grid exercise where you deduce facts from partial information. One of those puzzles where if the Duchess is eating toast on the left and the Duke is playing Jenga on the right, how many Yorkshire puddings is the Baroness expecting in the middle? Oh, and I see you typing Ginos into Google. Forget it. The puzzle's randomised in every playthrough. The quick solution, if you can even call it that, is to perform a killing for a local faction to earn the combination. Or you can do what I did and spend an entire weekend working it out in a notebook, which is in my locker.
Yeah, they're not coming out of there.
Number 2, The Tree Farm from Grim Fandango, a game set in the Land of the Dead, also known as the Land of the Dead Hard Puzzles. It's certainly where my sense of intellectual pride went to die. It's from the glory days of LucasArts, the point-and-click maestros, known for their verb sheets and item combinations, such as use walkthrough on LucasArts game. The reason the Tree Farm sticks out is that it doesn't rely on those old ideas. It's not about smashing together every item in your pockets to brute force a result. There's a tree, there are pumps, there's a wheelbarrow that alters the behaviour of the two, and until you can divine that relationship and what the game wants from it, you're stuck watching your big orange monster friend Glottis swing endlessly on a spinning tree while Manny dispassionately shunts a wheelbarrow in the foreground. I know if I just stare at this for long enough, it will come to me. Let's circle back on this one for now and go straight to the next entry, which is number 3, Animal Well, and a puzzle so befuddling that there's zero chance you'll solve it alone. I'm not being dramatic, it literally requires at least 50 separate people to solve. Making this video 6 video game puzzles only a genius can solve, plus 1 only a genius can solve with 49 of their mates. To even reach the puzzle, you need to dig through layers of riddles. Think of Animal Well as an enigma trifle. At the top is the story Cream. You collect 4 flames, see the end credits, all very tasty. Under that, you hit the custard. There are 64 eggs concealed in the depths of the well, requiring mastery of every gadget and gizmo to excavate. Eggs are also key to custard, so this metaphor is holding together really well. After the eggs comes a hunt for bunnies, sadly not a traditional trifle ingredient. Bunnies are locked behind code-breaking secret melodies, speedrunning, the kind of deep tissue oddness you'd expect from Fez or Braid. Which leads us to the bunny mural. There's a device to paint the tiles, but no instruction for the whole pattern beyond a snippet of painted wall in a distant nook. It turns out you have 1/50th of the solution, and the only way to complete the work is to hunt down and coordinate with 49 strangers online. It's taken a while, but I have tracked down the missing fragments. I am now inputting them, and... what the hell? Who were the other 49 players? Maybe if I... No, that's not it. Go to entry number 4. Entry 4 belongs to a special category of puzzle, the head slapper. Those moments when embarrassing realization floods the brain and the only way to dislodge it is with a quick slap. Realizing that the code on the CD case in MGS is on the CD case. Realizing that a vital password is inked on a shoe in Beyond Good and Evil. Realising that George Stobart can sprint and ensnare that unruly goat. Actually, no. No, I do still think that one's unfair. The latest game to stamp my fingerprints into my own scalp is Outer Wilds. The cause? The Tower of Quantum Knowledge, an intergalactic library where making too much noise is the least of your worries. Broken anti-gravity panels cut off the rare texts above, and the whole thing's embedded in a collapsing planet, hanging over a black hole. One misplaced comet, and this library is about to become a mobile library. On the plus side, no late fees at the end of the universe. I don't know how many time loops I spent watching the tower plummet. The mistake here is to think in terms of when instead of where. You're so busy racing through the time loop to scale the tower before it vanishes into the black hole that you forget that it's due to emerge out of a white hole. Follow it through, and out here, in the zero gravity of space, who needs to worry about stairs to the upper level? Feet meet the ground, knowledge meets your eyes, palm meets your head. Ow. When I wrote a list of impossible puzzles 8 years ago, instantly turns to dust, I claimed to avoid any stumpers from The Witness out of respect for spoilers. In truth, I couldn't have spoiled The Witness if I tried. I just walked sadly across that island, pawing at the touchscreens like a dog who's been handed an iPhone. Of course, since then, I've gotten a lot smarter. Which just so happened to coincide with the internet writing comprehensive walkthroughs. But the galaxy-brained architect of The Witness, Jonathan Blow, saw cheaters like me coming, so he built a conundrum that was internet-proof, and in turn, proof of a natural intellect. It's called The Challenge and gives you 6.5 minutes to solve 14 randomised puzzles. Mess one up, you go back a screen. Fail to finish in time, all 14 are remixed. Even the music is on your case, bombarding you with In the Hall of the Mountain King, the classical music equivalent of pounding 5 cans of Red Bull. The song you can mute, but there's no button on your TV remote to give you the smarts needed to beat The Challenge. With the ticking clock and the unpredictable puzzles, it is genuinely ungoogleable. All that's left is for you to conquer your fears, master every puzzle mechanic on the island, and think your way to glory. If only Rob of 8 years ago could see me now. He'd say, "You got someone else to do that video capture, didn't you?" Yes, I did. Why are there pumps attached to a tree anyway? Dragon's Dogma 2 is up next, and a trip to see the Sphinx, the mythological creature famous for being part bird, part Anne Robinson. I can't think of a scarier quizmaster.
Many have tried, and as you can plainly see, all have failed.
Sick and tired of smartasses Googling the solution to its classic 4-leg, 2-leg, 3-leg riddle, the Sphinx has workshopped some new material. Her quests are a showcase of everything Dragon's Dogma 2 has to offer. A bit of light dungeoning, seeking out special pawns, chucking special pawns up a mountain, giving her gifts, and praying she likes them. There's nothing worse than the moment you think she's going to murder you before giving her verdict.
Well, well. Very good.
No, wait, there is something worse. It's her 5th task, the riddle of rumination. Remember the seeker tokens you collected without a thought during your adventure? Well, the Sphinx wants you to return to the spot where you found the first.
Yet where was it that you found your first? Retrace your steps if you can.
Can you recall in a world this big where you collected a prize the size of a tea saucer? I can't remember where I put my car keys last night, let alone something I did in a save file 3 months ago. She also only gives you 7 days to do it, which is just about enough time to get there and back, if only you knew where there was. That's a week of desperately running laps of every cave, beach and forest I've explored, asking myself why did I leave the Sphinx quest so late? Why didn't I take photos of the tokens I collected? And why is my photo album full of this Barry Chuckle lookalike instead? If you watch any YouTube playthrough of Onimusha Warlords and check out the most replayed moments on the video timeline, I guarantee it'll be the water trap puzzle that people are gravitating towards, and that the comments under the video will be less than civil about said water trap puzzle. And I thought I made people cross in the comments. The water trap isn't the hardest conundrum on this list. It's one of those sliding tile puzzles like the plastic toys you got as a kid. Of course, as a kid, you didn't have to solve your picture grid before your best mate drowned in a slowly flooding room.
Samanosuke, wait there. I will help you.
Allow Samanosuke to go the way of the prestige, and it means a trip back to your last manual save, re-solving the puzzles on the route to the water trap and re-watching every unskippable cutscene along the way. I bet the comments have thoughts on those. Yep, can't say that one out loud. And while you now have YouTube videos coolly demonstrating the solution, back in 2001 we were reliant on written guides, not the optimal medium for describing such a visual problem. If it wasn't for a good Samaritan with an eye for ASCII art, I honestly think I'd still be stuck in that keep. And on that bombshell, that's 7 video game puzzles only a genius can solve. That Grim Fandango one, you had to adjust the pumps so they were alternating on each side, causing Glottis to destabilize the tree and knock it over. Pretty obvious if you give it more than a second's thought. Speaking of easy things, writing a comment under this video. How many of these puzzles did you beat without a guide? And can you think of any harder examples? While you're down there, click to subscribe and give the video a like. And I'll be back next Friday at 4 PM. Thanks for watching.
PlayStation